Welcome back. In this video, we're going to see how to actually log into these virtual machines we have created. We're going to see how to make the servers talk to each other by configuring the host names, by configuring the host files, by telling server A, hey, this is your IP address, or server B, this is your IP address, and also making sure that the IP address and the host names can be recognized on each server. So to do that, I'm going to log into the workstation, select the workstation, and once it's selected, you come here and click on student user and log in with that password which you used to create a student account, which in this case is Red Hat. Okay. Also, I'm going to log into server A and server B, but let's start with the workstation. Workstation is where we install the graphical user interface. I'm going to say no thanks for taking this tour, but to open a terminal, when you see this warning, system not registered with Red Hat, don't worry about it, we'll come to it later on, just X out. So to open the terminal, you click on this terminal window here. Then this window will pop out. I just want to expand this screen. To expand it, put your cursor here and do a double click. Then that will expand the screen. And your font, if it is too tiny for you and you want to increase the font, press the shift key, press the control key on your keyboard, and also press the shift key together and press the plus sign. That will increase your font. And if you want to decrease your font, press the shift key, press the control button, and then press the control button only and press the negative sign. That will reduce the font. Okay, so I'm here. You can see here workstation is typed. That is the name of the server because we changed it when we are creating it. But if I type host name, you will see that the host name, the fully qualified domain name, the full host name is workstation.lab.example.com, but the short name is just workstation. This is in this workstation. But if I go to server A and power it on, and also go to server B and power it on, when I go back to the workstation, I want to find out the IP address of the workstation. IP address is a number that is assigned to this server that identifies the server. To get the IP address, I can just type IP space A and press enter. You are going to be looking for ENS160 and you're looking for the line that says INET. So the IP address is this. I'm going to copy the whole of this, do a right click, copy it, and I'm going to put this in a notepad. Okay, I'm going to just create a new notepad and paste the IP address here. So this is the IP address of the workstation. Okay, next I'm going to go to server A and get the IP address of server A. Don't worry about all this other information, we'll get to them later on. So I'm going to go to server A. Because server A is a minimal install, we're not going to see a graphical user interface. All we'll see is a login screen and it will prompt us to log in. I'm going to log in as that user student. Make sure you click inside this black screen and type student. Our student should be showing as you're typing it. You press enter. It's asking you for password for the user student. Type the password that you used when you created the server. I use Red Hat as the password. But as I type the password, nothing will show on the screen for security reasons, but the system is recognizing your keystroke. So my password is Red Hat, which I have typed, and press enter. See, I have logged in as a user student. Here you see here localhost. Localhost shows up here because I have not changed the host name. If I type host name, you will see that the original host name is localhost.localdomain. Because I have not changed it, that is the host name. But I'm going to go ahead and get the IP address for server A by typing IP space A and pressing enter. You will see that the IP address is 172.250.25.250.197. So I'm also going to put it somewhere here. 197. So the first three, this first, my bad. This first three, 172.20.25.250 will remain the same. The only difference is the last one, which is called the last octet, and the value for here, the IP address here is 197. So I'm going to put that here, 197. This is for server B. For server A, excuse me. Then we'll go to server B. Go to server B and log into server B and get our IP address. To log in, I'm going to log in as user student and type my password. I'm going to type IP space A to get the IP address. The IP address here is 198. So I'm going to put it here for server B, that the IP address is 172.25.250.198. With this, I am now ready to map the host name to the IP address. For the first one, this is the host name. This is the IP address 178. So to write this in the host file, I am going to do this. Because we have not learned how to use a VI editor, we're going to type this and put it to that host name, to that host file. So I'm going to type 170. I want to type this command echo 172 dot. If you type echo, put it in quotes. I'm going to type 172.25.250.128. That is the IP address of the workstation. And I'm going to put the fully qualified domain name of the workstation, which is workstation.lab.example.com. And I'm going to put the short name for the workstation, which is workstation. So I'm saying that in server A, in the workstation, this is the IP address. We can also call it workstation.lab.example.com, or we can identify it simply as workstation. Workstation. Make sure I don't make any mistake in the spelling. Then I close this quote and redirect this, put this double redirection sign to /etc/hosts. So we'll do this on each server. Okay. For the server B, we'll say echo. We'll do the same thing. We are doing this now on the workstation. We'll do it on all the servers. So for the workstation, I have done the first one, which is saying that the workstation is mapped to this fully qualified domain name and also using the short name. I'm going to do the same thing to the server A, which is the IP address is, I'm going to say echo 172.25.250.197, and the fully qualified domain name is server A dot lab dot example.com. Okay, you close, you give a space and you type a short name, which is server A, and you close your quote and you do this double redirection sign and put it in /etc/hosts. Okay, we'll do the same thing still on the workstation. We'll type echo, put a quote, put the IP address of server B, which is 172.25.250.198. We'll give a space and we'll put the fully qualified domain name, which is server B in this case, .lab.example.com. We'll give a space and we'll put the short name, which is server B. Okay, make sure everything is spelled correctly. See here, we miss server B here. It should be server B.lab.example.com, and we close our quote and we'll use the double greater than sign, which I will explain to you what it means in the next couple of chapters. Put /etc/p/hosts. So we're going to run this command on the workstation line by line like this, and also run it on server A and server B. Correct this here, server B. So we're going to go to the workstation. Okay, copy the whole of this line, do a right click and copy. We go to the workstation. Okay, the screen is, after some time of inactivities, the screen will blank out. You click here to unlock the screen. I'm going to show you how to stop the screen from timing out. Put your password. Then here we are going to switch user to root. I'm going to show you how to do all that, but for now just type SU, I press enter, then type your password for root, which you used when you created the account, which is red hat. You press enter. Now we are root. So we can run the first command, do a right click and paste it there, then press enter. That is done. What it simply means is that the system will copy all this thing and put it in the host file. And I'm going to do the same thing for the server A. I'll copy it. Still go to the workstation, do right click and paste it and press enter. Then for the server B, we'll do the same thing, copy the IP address. Okay, do right click, copy it, and go here, do right click and paste. Then we'll press enter. So okay, there's an error here. Record the command. We did not close the quote here. You see, this last quote should be there. And we'll press enter. And that last quote should be here. Because we put the opening quote, we should close it. So what we have done here is, in the workstation, we have said that the server A should be recognized using this IP address, or server A.lab.example.com, or server A. Just like you saying your name is mapped to your social security number, is mapped to your first name and your last name, or they can call you using your nickname. That is what this host file is all about. So we're going to also do the same thing onto the server A and server B. So to do that, we are going to log into server A and server B from this. Okay, so we're going to use the tool called SSH. Now we know the IP address of server A. We can use the IP address to log into server A from the workstation. but that will be in the next video, where I will show you how to log into the server A and server B from the workstation and put all these three things we have done, these three lines, put them also in the server A and server B. So I'll see you in the next video.